This is the amount with which the company starts its business. And it is called share capital. This is the capital. And it is called share capital because this capital is to, you see, there are more than one people who contribute to this capital. It is shared by the, so many people. That's why it is called share capital. Coming to, you see, the case of a public company which plans to raise its capital from the public. Five, four people, you see, they planned that they should have a public company, and they were successful to get the company registered. Now they are in need of the capital because I have told you that every company must mention in the memorandum of association that what is going to be the share capital of the company. You see, now the company cannot start its business till the time it arranges the capital, till the time at least to seek the minimum subscription, the minimum amount of money with which it can start its business. So, since they are those five, four people who were promoted previously, now they are directors as well as first directors as well as shareholders. They are planning how to raise this capital, how to attract public to come down to the company and to buy its shares so that they can have a capital for their business. For this purpose, the company, you see, must issue a document called prospectus. At the time when you were joining, you see, NAMA for your studies, you see, along with the admission forms, you were given a small booklet, which is called prospectus. What is that? A prospectus of the educational institution, you see, contains all the essential information about that educational institution. So is the case with the prospectus of a company. This document, you see, which is called prospectus, it must include all the essential details about the company's planning, the company's administration, the company's board of directors, the company's share capital, the company's business, all details. And since you see the public limited company, which is planning to raise its capital from the public, which is planning to offer its shares to the public to raise its capital for its business, you see, the people, the nature person, the directors who are required to prepare a prospectus, they would try their utmost to make their prospectus as attractive as possible so that public is induced, the public is attracted to come down and to buy shares. So this prospectus has to be prepared and has to be carefully and has to be only then it can be circulated. It can be circulated in any way. It can be dropped to the people's houses. It can be dropped to the offices. It can be, you see, published in the newspaper. In the normal course of things, prospectuses are published in the newspaper. Okay, but what it is in the technical meaning, in the legal meaning, if you go to section 251, section 2, subsection 51 has defined the term prospectus. But don't look. It says that prospectus shall have the same meaning as assigned to it under the Security Act 2015. Oh my God. Oh my God. It hasn't been defined here. For knowing the definition and for referring for future, in a case you might refer to the definition. So then you would go to section, it's 41, I think. 41. Yes. Yes, 41. Subsection 41 of section 2 of the Securities Act 2015, another act. It has defined it. And if you need to understand the meaning of prospectus, the legal meaning, the definition of the If you want to make other people understand what does it mean in the context of company form of business organization, then you can look into this definition. But so far as the definition of our Companies Act 2017 is concerned, I mean, it's not definition. But don't forget that the Companies Act 2017 is not a textbook to be taught in the university. It's an act of parliament. And the drafters, as I told you, never keep in contemplation the students, the future students who will be taught this act. They have their own standards, they have their own requirements according to their own standards, according to their own requirements, they have drafted it. Okay, coming to section 40, subsection 41 of section 2 of the Securities Act 2015, it says that prospectus means any document. Any document. Now, the term document shows that it cannot be verbal. If the MD of a company, if the MD of a company is addressing people, you see, somewhere, and the purpose of that gathering is to attract people to buy shares, his speech is not a prospectus. Why? Because that is not a document. It must be a prospectus, must be a document. Must, I mean, if it is verbal, it would not be called prospectus, must be in writing. Means any document described or issued as a prospectus, whether it has been called prospectus or not. It's not necessary that the prospectus of the title of the company, you see, must be prospectus. Whether it is called prospectus or not, if it has the characteristics of a prospectus, if it deals with the contents of the prospectus, then it is prospectus, whether it is called prospectus or not. So prospectus means any document described or issued as a prospectus and includes any document, notice, circular, material, advertisement, offer of sale, document, publication, or other invitation offering to the public, or inviting offers from the public to the subscription or purchase of any securities of the company, body corporate, or entity, other than deposit invited by a bank and certificate of investment. Deposit invited by a bank is not a prospectus. Okay? In the same way, the certificate of investment deposit, those are excluded. They are not called prospectus. Okay? So a prospectus is, in a simple way, is an offer to the public. An offer to the public to buy the shares of that company. There are certain, there is one requirement under section 57, and I told you that only that public limited company is needed to prepare and publish a prospectus which is planning to raise its capital from the public. A public limited company which never needs to raise its capital from the public is not needed to prepare a prospectus. Instead, it would be needed under one of the provisions of the Companies Act 2017 to prepare another document which is called Statement in Lieu of Prospectus. Statement in lieu of prospectus. Statement instead of prospectus. This statement would include more or less all the information which is required to be provided in a prospectus. Okay. So there is just one condition from the law. Section 57 says that before its circulation, before its publication in the newspaper, a copy signed by the directors must be, filed with the registrar of the company. Who is the registrar of the company? One of the officers at the Security and Exchange Commission of Pakistan. So Section 57 says that if a prospectus is prepared, it shall be A copy of it signed by the director shall be, filed with the registrar of the company. Before filing it with the registrar of the company, it cannot be circulated, it cannot be, published. If it is published, you see, without, filing a copy of it to the registrar, then what is going to happen to the one who is responsible for its circulation and publication? Section 57, subsection 2 says that in case of any contravention of this section, the company and every person who is a party to the issue, publication, or circulation of the prospectus shall be liable to a penalty not exceeding of level 2. I have, in last week, I have explained to you these three levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. These are the punishment. You see, it is an offense to violate the provisions of section 57 to, particularly the provision which requires the company to file its prospectus before publication of the registrar of the company. So there will be a penalty upon the company. Now coming to the nature of shares. What is the share? Okay. The procedure is that whenever a prospectus is published, obviously some people will be attracted. And obviously some people will be contacting the company's authorities, to buy its shares. Shares are sold. So that's a long process. I'll talk about it in today's lecture. But whenever an application is accepted and share is allotted, and that share is evidenced by a document which is called share certificate. Share certificate. So a person upon buying the shares in the capital of a company, he becomes a shareholder. He becomes a member of the company. Okay, and this this relation of a shareholder with the company is based upon a contract. There's a contract that he will abide by all what is found in the memorandum of association as well as in the articles. This is a contract between the company and the shareholders. So it's not a share certificate, it's not simply a piece of paper. It is an evidence. It is an evidence that the person in whose favor this certificate of share has been issued has a relation, has a contractual relation with the company. He has agreed that the company has agreed that the company would be paying him, his share, depending upon the numbers of shares he holds. He would be paid his share out of the profit of the company. And I remember I have told you that the profit which is made by a company, is called dividend. Dividend. Okay? So the relation is of contract. According to section 62, a share certificate, as I told you that whenever a prospectus is published in the newspaper, and people upon going through the contents of the publication coming to know that what is the business and how much is the share capital, who are at the board of directors. If someone is attracted, he goes and files, he submits an application for buying the share certificate, and when he is allotted the share certificate, shares according to 62, a share certificate is issued. Okay, I mean, if he buys 50 shares, a certificate is given that Mr. So and so is the owner of 50 shares in this company's business. So that section 62 says that this share certificate is a prima facie, on the face of it, a clear-cut evidence of